Oh. What I wanted to say about that was, okay, so then I seen Jesus, and he was like, sometimes he said like, because we didn't know who he was at that time at all. It was just like, I never even thought about who he was. Like, it was just like, I just accepted. Okay, okay. Yeah, because you seem you're like the distance from me to the screen away, which is about a foot, you know. So no, you're not. You're even closer. That's nice. Yeah, well, a little something. So then I was asking about like, okay, what happens? I mean, like, it's because I just been aware, like, I was shown when we were on a really high level, and I was seeing all of this, a lot of stuff from like the spaceships and the light beings and stuff. It's like they were saying, don't connect with Kendra on physical level, but everything but. They were saying like you can feel it, but don't touch yourself, or don't touch even your body. Like try to get out of the body just 1 centimeter, and you could even be there in California. But I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. It's like we were both like feeling a lot in the body, but just like one tiny millimeter above the body, with it out it actually being the body. They were saying you could go like it would be like you were like having love. You know what I mean? It would be totally, but just like let the body down. That's what I was being told by them. That's why I was saying all the time magenta light, because it's like the red is not there, but everything else is there, but the absolute red, but it gets very close, but it's not. So, and like in that space, there was like no time and no space, and we could just, and that's where they were saying if we went to Mount Shasta or something, I can't remember. And then I was thinking about it today because I was reading this exercise about how to like heal the sexual energy and stuff. And because I had told you I had so many problems with my spine, like I was kept getting like attacks on my spine, and my spine every time it happened, it was like my spine had like freeze closed and stopped my light coming through my spine. And it was like so. There's these exercises from the Chinese yoga, but it's much simpler than that book that I sent you on the email. I mean, that's quite complicated. It's good to work on it, but it's really, it's like a whole university degree of that yoga. And then there's these exercises, and I thought, well, maybe we could do them, and that'd be kind of nice. But then I saw Jesus, and he said, like, not now, not until there's some healing come. He said, like, you can feel each other, and it's nice, and just what comes up, comes up. It's just like, just wait, because part of clearing the energy is just not touching that level totally, like, in a way, you know what I mean? Like, that's what he said. He said, because I saw before, the problem was, the only reason even that I was told not to go there with you before, even though we did, because of this disconnection between the sexual energy and it's like somebody can get horny for no reason. It's nothing to do with love or reproduction or anything. It's just like it is like animal thing, but it's just like there's no control. It's not even you. It's just something that come up, and that's from these bad energies. They make that in people, but actually that energy, when it's really whole, it's actually like actually making health and life and stuff like that. It's like one instead of two or something. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so he said just like hang on and wait, and then he saw like this game like Dungeons and Dragons. You know what is it? Okay. Okay, well there's like one guy who yeah. So there's one guy who's like the dungeon master. He's like the creator. He's like the one who says what happens to everybody. So Jesus was showing himself as a analogy as being like he's like the creator. He's like the dungeon master, but he's not a dungeon because it's the world. You know what I mean? But he's like the creator. So that's when I said that. Oh, I'd really like to work on these techniques with Kendra because it's really nice and we have really nice connection and stuff. He just said like he showed us like he's like the creator, and then he said just if I say in the right time, that's okay. Because those the negative energies also they had a lot of problem in my back as well. I've been carrying a lot of stuff. You've been carrying a lot of heavy energy, so just like we just have to concentrate on like this cleaning the beach and this until everything is like crystal clear. Because it has to be real. And it's not even about like marriage and stuff like that. It is, I mean, but it isn't as well. It's about we're going to be together. I think we're really together to come in to be in the world like in absolute truth somehow, to be an example of absolute truth and transparency, and also be protected, of course. But do you know what I mean? Do you feel that, or you'll be okay? I don't know what to say. Are you okay? Will you be happy if I come? Will you be happy if I come? Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Ask the big ocean of life to bring me there, and I'll be there. It was nice though when I was in the bath, because I was kind of like stoned on the cigarette, on the nicotine very much. I've been very stoned on the nicotine since I had that dream. It's like nicotine has become almost like fucking methadone or something. It's weird. I never had methadone, but I mean I know what opiates are like. And it was like it's been like just a blanket, you know. It's just like warm and not real. So it feels real, but it's not. You know, it's this. I hate this. And so it was nice when I was in the bath. You would like when you come with your voice, you were like, I don't know, like, it's like listening to you on Skype. It's really nice. You know, I tried to get my printer going today so I could print all the Facebook texts, and I couldn't find the cable. I've got to go through all my boxes of cables and stuff, and I've got to get somebody to help me set it up. I want to print them all, but I wondered, did you ever save the file I sent you of like the first half year of Facebook texts? The problem is when I go to Facebook and I go up and 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 up, it's like it gets stuck because the memory gets full because there's so much stuff in it. It's like so long. So I don't know if I'll be able to retrieve all of them unless I've got a really powerful computer with like shitloads of memory, like, you know. I managed to get up like so far, and then if I've got anything else running on the computer, it won't work. But if I've only, I could do it in what do you call it? When you start the computer in the basic mode, like I could do it then. I'd have more memory because I really wanted to get all the messages in one place, and then you can edit them and you can make them whatever you want. If you want, we can sell them. I wish we got all our Skypes. Yeah. I think there's a lot to learn in there. Stuff that we were. I told you we have an own angel. I wasn't being like romantic or like. I was actually telling you the truth. I really believe that we have an own angel. We have like one angel. It's weird. It's like I saw it, you know. I really did. And also, it's this fact that I mean, I can't say it. It just makes me feel so vulnerable. But it's like, okay, before we met, really, like, okay, we were like chatting for a year and having fun and making stupid jokes and like just being there for each other. It was nice, you know. But before we really met, I had loads of dreams which were like clearing dreams about like I was thinking about people that I might like to be with. Yeah, I remember. I read it. Did you read all those messages? No, it's so long. I mean, it's like sometimes I read bits. I read the letters that I wrote. I've got a whole packet of letters I wrote you. One day I'll send them. You'll be like I was right. Sometimes I wrote one letter like 5 times. And then sometimes I was like, I just write and write and write and write and write because I was like, I'd never know if I'd ever talk to you again. It was like I'd just be like writing, 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 writing. And it's like I didn't half the time I didn't know what I was going to say. I was just 10, 10. Let's get to 11. So half the time I didn't know what I was going to say at all. I just like all this stuff going on all these different levels, and I just trying to say, okay, but there's this and this and this and this and this. Like, just trying to help somehow. I don't know how much you took, I mean, I remember one time when, you know, you just come out of being with Italian, I think, and I said to you, look, I told you all these things where you didn't hear me, and you just told me, like, I heard you, but I didn't feel like I had any control or something like that. I don't remember the words exactly, and that's exactly what I was feeling. Like, all that time I was seeing you, like, blind, and it was so sad. What's that? Yeah. And then when you were reaching out, connecting at your Thomases, and you were like, you talk too much. I don't want to talk to you. And you were so confused because there was so many things going on in your life. You were really confused. It was like that was Thomas's energy as much as yours as well. And I was sad because I was like, I wanted to Skype you alone. I didn't want you to be like in another, you know what I mean, talking. I don't know how, what Andy said is like about bringing Jesus to the friends and stuff. It's like, fucking, you've got some intense cases in your life, you know. Some of them I really think you shouldn't have connection until you're guided. Like, it's really important. If God wants you to do something to help them, but if not, be careful, you know. There's people. I've never come into contact with energies. I have when I was young. There were some black witches that I knew that were really, they looked pretty normal. They were very convincing. And like the first person I did acid with, first person I told you, the first person I did acid with, he was like so powerful. He had such a strong effect on me from when I was 14 until when I was 18. 4 years. And he was like a witch, like this green magic people. And we used to go to his place, me and Amanda, we'd sit and listen to music. And he'd always make these massive joints which fell apart. I don't know why. And you know, they had a lot of influence on us. I just basically lost my family. My dad and mum had split up. My dad was in depression, so I couldn't really get anything from my dad, apart from that he was sad all the time. I blocked that, actually, but it's true. My brother lost his memory before that time. My brother can't remember anything before he's 11, at all. Like, he doesn't see my mum as his mum. He won't talk to my mum. I told him at Christmas, go on, Craig, do yourself some good karma. Just write to mum and say, I'm okay. How are you? I'm sorry I haven't been in touch and I miss you. And she'll be overjoyed, and he won't do it. He's got a side. Yeah, she writes. I always put pictures of squirrels because she can take. What did she write? Today? Oh, okay, okay. Try to think. I wrote an email. You see, I mean, but that was at Christmas, so I don't know. No, I didn't see. I'll have a look. I'll have a look. No, but what I was saying is like this guy was into acid. And he was like doing all these. Used to read these horrible black magic books, like this chaos magic and stuff. And he was trying to. I don't know. He was just like he didn't control us. He did control us, but he didn't because we were looking for it. Because we were looking for some kind of wisdom or something. I'd started taking mushrooms. I'd had my own experiences with mushrooms, which were so powerful. I'd been to very high energy places, which were really waking me up. And then I didn't realize this guy was like blocking my path because we used to go and hang out with them because they were nice to us. And they used to not talk about all these magical, mystical things and alternative realities and stuff like that. And like, so we were kind of like, you know, hooked into his energy. And we didn't even know he was like basically controlling us because we'd given our power over to him. And this was when I was with Jesus, and he said, you know, one thing, one time, he just said, you've been with some bad people. And I understood straight away exactly what he meant. I went back to him one time, and I told him about Jesus Christ, and he didn't want to hear it. He said, I don't want to hear that word in my house. And I never saw him again. I didn't want to. I didn't want to have anything to do with him again, because I knew he wouldn't change. There was nothing I could do. I tried. There was nothing I could do to reach him, because when we took acid, he put King Lear on the television. We were watching this like fucking depressing movie for 4 hours. Amanda wasn't there. 4 hours watching this movie about this guy's life falling apart. I don't know why. And his cat was sitting on my knee, and I looked at him, and he turned into like a hobbit. And he'd said like, some people say I look like a hobbit, and he turned into a hobbit. He was just fucking around. And then he was like in 50 pieces. He was like in 50 pieces all across the room in separate identities. And he said some people say. They said, how does it feel to be a cluster being? And then he was like fucking around like this. And then he said, have you ever thought about the dark side? And I was like, block. And his cat connected me. His cat was helping me. His cat protected me from his energy, sitting on my knee. So I said, I'm watching the television. I'm not interested. And he just basically, his cat, in a period of like 3.5 hours more of watching this film, went slowly from my knee, crawled up my chest, sat on my shoulder, and went to sit on top of my head. So at the end of the night, I was sitting there with this cat on acid, like protecting me from his owner, and the next day I kind of forgot it, you know. And that's the thing, is some people, they don't want the right way. They've got too attached to things, or they've got some denial of God, or they're angry with God, or there's something which they're, you know, he used to like shit on graveyard crosses and stuff like that. He was really weird. I never saw that. He just said that he'd done that. And some people are not going to change, and we have to accept that. Some people are not going to come to the light at all, because they're lost. Do you know what I mean? They've got their own story going on in the darkness, and that's like what you can hope for those people is that life gives them a huge bash and gives them a change. Like maybe they have a near-death experience or something like that. Is that life bring them something which is really going to show them that they need to turn direction. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You can actually, because it happens sometimes. Sometimes somebody's going so far into something, but the angels still see them and they still love them, and there's something going on, or they've got some karma to help other people later, or something like that. And then they just like, do you mind me talking? Because if you want to talk, I don't want to talk. Okay, I wish I was there as well. So there's like John Valo Melchizedek, you know, this Flower of Life guy. He wrote these 2 Flower of Life books, and he tells the story of, yeah, he went around the world looking for this flower. Me? Okay. You look like an elf again. You did earlier. You got those black cat eyes with the light inside. It was weird. No, good cat. Like, no, not cat. It's like fairies have eyes like cats, but they're not cats. They're like fairies. Well, you're not gonna scratch. You're not gonna scratch me. No, don't. If you do, no, I'm not gonna come. If you can scratch me. All right. Okay. I am tickling you. I mean, you know, if I tickle you, you have to be better at tickling back. That's the rules of tickling. Or we don't go there. Or we don't go there. I'm only gonna go there if you're going there. No, the only way you can do tickling is to tickle the person more back. Come on, you should know that. Uh-oh. John Valo Melchizedek, he told 2 stories. I wanted to tell you 3 stories. 3 stories, sorry. What was it? Oh God, I can't remember now. I can remember 2 of them. Why can't I remember the other one? Yeah. Well, what am I gonna do? If I'm gonna not talk, you're gonna say I'm going to sleep. It would be so nice. It'd be so nice if you would, but yeah. Okay, this is something. It's like, you know, the you see, I'm scared of America. You know why? I mean, I'm not, but I do want to ask you something very much if I come there, and I don't know if now's the right time to ask, maybe, but like if I come there, no, if I come there and I say like, stay away from this is dangerous from us, you have to do it. Because if I'm there, you know how much I've been attacked from here through you. If I'm there, I tell you, there are people who, like, I was not safe in Israel. I'm safe in Jordan. I was safe in Egypt. But there's people who, if somebody's like trying to go the right way, they really don't like them, you know. And like my friend, I told you, she was clearing grays off people in India. So it's like I don't want to have any. If we're gonna make just a safe energetic space, I want harmony and peace. I don't want like war, you know. It's really important. Anyway, the other two stories, the three stories. No, like, no, I don't want to talk about that one because it's yucky. Okay. Oh yeah, there's this story about this house that he used to go and see this guru guy who was like a very, very wise old man. And he used to know the answers to everybody's things. Like people would just go and ask him things and he'd tell them. They go away, they'd know. You know, he's just like a little guy. He had a house and he had like a fence around his house and a gate on the fence. And it was like this, like if he was accepting people, the gate would be open. And if he wasn't accepting to people, the gate would close. You know, that was it. It was like this. And often when I was thinking about going there to you in America, and then Spirit had said, okay, now is the time you can go, it's clear. And it's like, I saw this house with the gate open. It was really nice. It's a really good sign, you know? And the other one was, you have to pay attention. He was like, okay, it was about money. And him and his wife, they used to travel around and stuff and do all this spiritual work. It's like, because they got told to do things. He got told by his angels to do things. And they'd sit down every evening and they'd meditate. And there'd be these two angels in front of them. And the angels would tell them things like this, you know. And then, like, they were driving along the road and they'd run out of money. They didn't have money. And she's like, Drumvalo, get a job. You're doing all these missions and you're going and discovering all these sacred things. Blah 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 blah. We don't even have a gas tank on the back of the truck to fill up if we run out of gas. And they just stop by this lake like 2 minutes later, and there's like a blue gas tank, like shining new one, just sitting there on its own by the side of the lake for them. You know, that's a good story. I like that story. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, these things happen all the time when you're really tuned in. I seen this cross on your head. The picture, that was so nice. That was a nice picture, actually. Some of your pictures are amazing. Go and get baptized if you want. I wish you do. I know if you did, everything would be so fast. I know. I remember one time we were sitting with him, and like the people who knew him better than I did, like they were just sitting meditating at that time, because we just met them all together traveling around, and they were all sitting meditating, and like I was just not into being told what to do. I was really, I mean, I just come out of this experience of being with these bad people, and I was thinking Christianity was like bad, and it was controlling people, and heaven was just like a concept which was destroying people to hell, and I mean, whatever. And this, I was just like in my own world. I mean, I'd had a lot of spiritual experiences, but I hadn't figured things out because I hadn't got my own connection with spirit. I was just taking, I think that time I was like flying around with Amanda. We had experiences. But I mean, like, the only experiences that were really, really profound was like when I died, and that was like beyond this life completely, you know. I mean, we had things. I remember one time we were tripping, and we saw this white light, and it was like the name of God written in Hebrew in the room. We both saw it. We didn't speak. That was the amazing thing. We used to sit and trip together, and we'd like have the same experience, but we wouldn't say a word. We'd be experiencing like exactly the same thing. We wouldn't have to speak. We'd be like the next morning. We'd be like, "Fuck! All that happened. We didn't speak until now." It's crazy. And it's like, so we saw this white light, and it was like the name of God written, and we were like being shown that was the truth. And yet we weren't ready to integrate it and accept it and kind of like go with it. We were just kind of being shown in a way. And then I had a dream about that bad guy that we used to go and see, that I told you about. And we were driving in a car, and he was like driving, and the car smashed, and we went through the front window. And it was just blackness. It was like we died, but there was just nothing. Like blackness, nothing, nothing. And that's what happens to these people who have no souls left anymore. You know, and it's like people who go the wrong way. They don't have anything to look forward to, you know. That choose to go the wrong way. People that choose to go the wrong way. They know. And anyway, so, well, when there's still a child left inside them, sometimes you can connect with the child, and it takes a lot of work, but, you know. Good, good, because anything, I know you don't, I just really wish you, look, the church bells, you hear the church bells? You hear the church bells? You hear it? Can you hear it? Yeah, it's amazing. Every morning they wake people up, and an hour later they start the mass. So they don't ring the bells. They go, you should be at mass now. They wake you up so you can get together and go to the get yourself together and then go to the mass after an hour. It's really nice. Yeah, it's good. I love that church. That's where there's the 86-year-old priest. Good. I, well, I was just as I was saying, I was going to say there must be some good people. I mean, it's not always between like Christians and witches or whatever party people. I mean, there's good and bad in everybody, but there are people that are just good people, and everywhere you go in the world, you'll always find even like you'll always, yeah, yeah, and yeah. I mean, here in Amman, there's a lot of good people. I find it really easy to connect with. There's really a lot of good people, you know. A lot of people want to work for refugees. A lot of people want to work for charity. A lot of people who've got money are just obsessed with money, but not like they would be in the West, in a different way. But because it's a habit, yeah, of building up money. It's a habit, but they're a bit cheap. You know what I mean? They're not like they're not. I mean, they'd never refuse you like something like in London. Somebody like this, they don't want to share anything. They don't share. Everybody's on their own. They've got the system. But you know, there's people here who have got money who want to help things, and they feel bad about having money when not everybody has got money in the whole country. Do you know what I mean? So they try and use it for like different projects and stuff, or they'll sponsor something, or they'll buy art, or they'll buy things people have made, or stuff like that, or they'll give tips, or do you know what I mean? It's quite a social mentality here. There's a sense of being like part of a big tribe. And the nice thing of Jordan is it's really a middle because there's people from everywhere here. It's like a conference ground. It's almost like a kind of like a holding ground because apart from Israel, but even then, legitimately they're supposed to have peace with Israel. Ahmed goes to Israel. He's the only. There's not many Jordan. You don't say Israel in Jordan. That's how they get around having any problem about the local politics. Nobody says Israel. They don't really believe in Israel. They say Palestine, but they don't even. They'll blame Jews for every problem in the world, but they don't say Israel. It's like nobody says it. You understand? Oh, yeah. So Ahmed got refused to come to our charity project because he's like an ambassador to Israel from Jordan because he goes and brings his art there and stuff like that as a peace offerings and things like this. So we were going to work with the Gaza refugees and people from Gaza and the national security. I started this project. I mean, which is supposed to be on Wednesday. What day is it today? Thursday. No. Well, we missed it on Wednesday. I have to contact them. I don't, you know. So it's Friday. Yeah. I don't know. It just was. Okay, listen. I'll tell you what. Next week, when you're busy. Also, I'm going to be busy. I mean, I guess I've got a few meetings. I've got a meeting on Monday, and I've got a meeting on the 4th, and I've got a meeting on the 8th. I've got a gallery to go to on the 8th, where she said, go there because I want you to introduce this woman. She can sell your work. Because all the people who go to her gallery are like billionaires and they're princesses and stuff like that. She's a princess who owns this gallery, and I have to go and meet her apparently. And they will like have your work in this place. If they take you in their stable, they'll make sure that you've got work and like selling stuff and things like that. That'd be nice. This woman Susanna I met her. She told me about it. She's very cool. She's like Jackie. She's an American woman. She's a survivor. So I've got things as well. You've got things. You've got things. I've got things. But I was thinking what we could do is just try and find out between times when we can check up. And if I can get any kind of phone that can do a Skype, I'll try and get a phone that can do a Skype again, and we can just like, you know, if you need any support in the court or something like that, you can just message me. So I'll be there in the pocket, like, if I can. I'm gonna try to, because all the money I need to sort things out here. But I'll try to get some way to be able to be there for you if you need anything. Okay. Even if I'm asleep, I'll get it like one that does a. I'll make sure I get one which does a loud bell on the Skype when I'm asleep and stuff like that. Yeah. I called you on the phone a couple of times. I was feeling so intensely I had to talk to you. I called you on the phone. I was just like, no, no. What? Oh, well, you're upside down. Why should I? Yeah. Okay. Okay.